Welcome to this afternoon's webinar. A little bit of a strange one, kind of a one-off, but I can tell you I've been absolutely buzzing about this webinar all week. With mental health and well-being of children being more apparent than ever, we felt that we wanted to deliver this webinar to show you how we can support you in supporting your students with well-being through EducationCity. Now, we at EducationCity are aware of the impact COVID has had on children and young people. Not being able to see extended families, sort of distant relatives, or even other peers, friends that don't go to the same school as them. And obviously in school, things are slightly irregular, a bit strange for them as well. And all of that, not even considering you guys as educators doing the fantastic job that you do. And obviously, you know, everything going on at the moment, you guys are at the forefront a little bit, aren't you? But we get it. At EducationCity, we do get it. And we want you to know that we will do whatever we can to support you in supporting your students. And obviously, what better week to do this webinar than during Mental Health Awareness Week? So, like I said, I'm a bit buzzing for this webinar. I'm so excited to show you how EducationCity can help you. And because of that, we've not really got an agenda. I know what I want to show you. So I'll just go over those features when we can. Brilliant. Oh, good morning from Bolivia. Thank you for that. Excellent. All right then, as always, a little bit of housekeeping for you. The account you're going to be viewing today is a made-up school, so please don't worry about any student or teacher names that you might see. They are all completely made up. And it is also an English school, won't really be relevant in terms of the curriculum that you follow, but I will point out any differences if necessary as we're going through. And finally, we love to hear your questions. We really, really do. And you'll see on the taskbar, there is a Q&A button. If you click onto that, you can type in a question and it will ping up on my screen and I can answer those for you there and then. There is also the option to ask a question anonymously using that function. All of our webinars do get recorded, so if you don't want your name to be said, you can obviously ask a question anonymously there. Now, we've obviously all used the chat box already. Just be aware that that won't ping up on my screen in the same way that the Q&A will. So you can use either. It's entirely up to you. Right then, I'm excited for this one. Let's head into educationcity.com and we can begin. And here we are logged into the homepage. Now, if you're following along at home or in school, your page might look slightly differently. It may look like this. This is our classic view, and there's nothing wrong with it. You can still use it if you wish to. But if you click on the ribbon just here, we have our new view. I prefer it. I think it's got a better flow to it and it's easier to navigate from my perspective. So this is the view I'm going to be using for today's webinar. And the first place I want to draw your attention to is the avatars. Now, as a teacher, you're logged into your account. You have your avatars that you can change how you're feeling, like so. Or if you're like me as a teacher, you might use it as a reward system. So the child in your class who works really hard that week gets to choose your avatar. There we go. You can sort of see how you're feeling. Students also have that advantage, choosing an avatar on their own system, as you can see over here in the student overview. Now you can look for a class or a group of students. So if you do have a group of students in your class who you're monitoring slightly, maybe sort of their behaviours changed, maybe they've become quiet, moody, you can obviously create that group and monitor them the last time they logged in and their avatar, because their avatar can change depending upon how they are feeling. Like down here, Hannah at the moment has got a bit of a sad face on her avatar. It might be something that you're aware of already, sort of a family bereavement or parents separating, something like that. But if it isn't, it's always worthwhile having a bit of a look on here and noticing which avatars they have chosen. Now I want to show you really, really quickly how they can do this. So I'm going to log into my fake child login. Log out here, and this fake child is called Dog because it's named after my mum's dog. Here we go, Henry, there he is. And this is where they can change their avatars. Now, as you can see, if Hannah wanted a pink avatar, there are a couple of pink avatars that do different things. There's purple, obviously the different colours. She's chosen a sad one. I wonder why. You obviously got excited. Maybe it's Henry's birthday soon. There we go. A couple of excited ones just there. A bit of a sleepy one. There we go. That one looks like it's wearing a party hat, doesn't it? There we go. But you can see and show children how they can change their avatars depending upon how they're feeling and their emotion. Now, if you create a fake student account, you can also show them where to access their different resources, as well as looking at that avatar just there. There we go. Let's head back into my account as a teacher, my fake school. Here we are. So that would be the first thing that I would say, do keep track of that, because it is a great way of keeping track of how your students are feeling, what emotions they might be feeling and why. And while we're on the subject of emotions, I'm going to head into the search content area just here. Here we go. And you can see already in our quick links, we have PSHE. And this is some new content for this academic year that has been put into play. Things like describing feelings, linking to life experiences, and sharing facts about yourself. Now, these ones here are really, really useful. They are linked with year one. Obviously, everything is mapped to the curriculum that you follow. So this might say P2, I believe. But they're really good at sort of getting children involved in that whole class discussion. So this one here, the bench one. There we go.
Make your way around the school playground.
You've got that option there.
Select
Make your way
playground
around the
equipment,
playgrounds.
Listen to the story and answer and discuss the following
And
questions.
you've got 7 little stories going on there as well. And you can select one of those and you've got that mini story.
I missed my friends. I missed my teacher.
So you've got a child here who misses their old school, their friends,
I wanted class
their
to start
teacher.
again so that I didn't feel so lonely and alone.
And he's feeling lonely and
what
alone.
What did Ben miss about his old school?
And this is the sort of thing you could bring up onto the board. You've got the questions underneath there. What did Ben miss about his old school? Why did he want class to start again? And have that discussion with your class. Have you ever felt like that? What would you do if you were that person? What would you do if you were one of these people who saw that person? And it does lead to that sort of whole emotional side of starting a new school or feeling alone, sort of feeling isolated from everybody else. And again, you can have that bit of a discussion. Doesn't matter that it's year one, you can access it from any year group. And as I mentioned, there are 4 different ones just there, each with those different sort of scenarios within them. Now, I mentioned as well, we have got some things such as this. Children are encouraged to discuss interesting facts about themselves. If we have a look at the printable just there, we've got that example from Stig. This is his name, what he likes, and his best friend. And this could be used for children to write down some interesting facts about themselves, have a bit of circle time, share those facts, or share them with a peer or in a small group. And then maybe quiz each other on facts they know about yourself. So it's a really good sort of get to know you task as well. Great for a new academic year. There we go. And if you can't find what you're specifically looking for under PSHE, don't worry, because you can always search via feelings. describing how you're feeling today and why. Just there, the emotional roller coaster one is a really, really good one. And we've got some great ones looking at facial expressions and how they're linked to different feelings, and obviously emotions there as well. There we go. And obviously we do have things for the upper year groups. Choosing appropriate language to solve a situation. So again, looking at how things are said and what's said and who you would talk to in what way. So you might talk to your friend differently than you talk to your teacher, or to your parents differently, to your sports coach, whatever that is. And you've got loads of them in there. Really, really useful for having that discussion. One of my favourite things to do when I was teaching, I was teaching my year 4 class, is that each last Friday of the month, so it gets marked on the calendar, last Friday of the month, we would have talk time. And we would sit in a circle. If it was a nice day, we'd go onto the field and sit on the field all together. I had this little plastic teddy bear that they used to pass back and forth, so that obviously they'd take turns in sort of speaking. And sometimes I would pose a problem to them, such as, using one of these activity sheets, using the appropriate language to resolve the situation. Sometimes it would be more of a debate. One of my favourites was, should we wear a school uniform? That was always a good one. Or even sharing, what we did this month that we're proud of, what we're looking forward to next month, and just having that general chat, because it does encourage those who are a little bit quieter to get involved. And obviously, as a teacher as well as an educator, you can obviously look at all your students all together. That's always the point that I knew something was wrong with particular students, because they were slightly different. They were acting differently to their peers in certain ways. So you have got that option as well. Just checking, we've not got any questions come through just yet in the chat. No, not yet. So I'm just going to head on to the homepage. Just here, because I want to remind you that we're here to support you as well. So don't forget that all activities and assessments are marked automatically. Again, helping you guys with sort of the teacher pain points, as we call them. Like I said, I was a teacher. I get it. I completely understand. So all of those resources are marked for you. And the great thing is, because you can have a look at that data using the success tracker, it's all done automatically. Plus, you can see if any children are sort of plateauing or sort of levels dropping in certain areas as well. Remember, in the success tracker, you can also look at a group of students. So if you do have that group of students you're keeping a bit of an eye on for any reason, maybe they've had difficulty going back to school, anything like that, you can have a look there as well. There we go. So loads of resources. I've literally just touched the tip of the iceberg. There are loads of resources for sort of mental well-being, looking after yourself, having that feeling and emotion, accessible resources on there. Do have a look at those. And again, we're here for you as well. So have a look at the teacher resource pack, full of things to save you lots of time in your planning and PPA. There we go. And I'm just going to check if we've got any questions. None that I can see. But if you do think of any later on, we've obviously got our email address just there, customerservice@educationcity.com. And if you are free tomorrow afternoon, we do actually have our CPD accredited webinar. This provides you with full training on Education City alongside CPD accreditation. Obviously, if you're watching this on record, it won't be tomorrow, but for you guys joining me this evening, if you want to know a little bit more, again, get in touch, customerservice@educationcity.com, or you can head to the website at www.educationcity.com, www.educationcity.com. Head to the webinars page where you can sign up for that, and you can watch recordings of past webinars. I do hope this webinar has been useful to you. As I mentioned, we're here to support you as an educator, to support your students. So any feedback, question, queries, do get in touch. Until next time, take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.